I run a maths tutoring company that has helped over 1,300, almost 1,400 students now in the UK. And I'm asked all the time, is AI going to take over tutoring? Are you scared? What's your plan for that? Is there any point running a business? Um, and a friend of mine in an education space and information, helping people make money from whatever their skill or service is, he is experiencing it right now. He's experiencing people scraping the bucket, the bottom of the barrel, taking up all of the people who are keen to have this solution and would pay something for this solution. But AI makes information so accessible and so free that they're charging very small amounts of money relative to the value they're being provided. And they feel like they are receiving medication for their pain. They feel like it's a solution. We have come to a conclusion, I think, from a discussion last night that there will be a post-AI coaching platform lull when all of these people who have been sold that feel like they have actionable plans, that feel like they're working, 10% of them are going to work because those 10% were going to win anyway. But 90%, probably the advice isn't accurate or isn't relevant enough for them yet. And so we think there's going to be a bit of a slump after. But for my industry specifically, for tutoring privately, everyone thinks it's going to take over the space, and I'm strongly against the thought that it will. We've spoken to around 10,000 students. And last night, I was on a sales call, and it was the first time out of 10,000 I have ever heard of a student using AI in the way it would be intended to be used, which is to actually help them learn, rather than how everyone else uses it, which is just to cheat and get the answer, right? And so because of the way it's used now, I don't see that development. But the biggest reason is 2 years ago, a significant percentage, maybe 40% of the people we spoke to were scared of online. They were so far in the past that they were stuck. In person is the only way. Online's a scam. Online doesn't work. Online is bad. Now, 2 years later, that number has dropped from 40% to probably 5 to 10. Like, we've only just gotten over the fact that we can do learning and do this stuff online. I don't think people are going to believe AI is going to be able to solve the problem for their children. And the key thing here is for their children. People who have, in my industry, children aged 14 to 16, they are 47 to 55 years old. Do they use AI in the way that 20, 30-year-olds are using AI now? No, they really don't. They use it as a search engine and as a better way than Google. And they were typically, if you skip 5 years ago, you've got the people who are now 60-ish, they were scared of online, right? They didn't like the technology coming through. And now you've got the generation underneath them who are probably going to be the generation that are scared of AI. Or rather, they don't trust it. They're like, who's in charge? Where does the data go? What happens if it turns my child into a maniac? Blah, blah, blah. But they're fine with online. And so I don't see private tutoring going anywhere realistically for the next 10 to 20 years. Unless, and I see this being a potential possibility, that a government-wide level rollout of AI systems happens. If AI is used in schools day to day so that each individual student can have a personalized tutor in class that helps them from where they are now to where they need to get to, and everything's hyper personalized by that, and they're all working individually in a group together, if that makes sense. They're all in the same classroom, but they're all working individually. And a teacher will then monitor their progress and be able to monitor what all of the AIs are actually doing. If that comes to fruition, that's the way I think school is going to go, when that happens at a government legislation level, which, let's be honest, the UK government doesn't move very quickly with stuff like that, then AI tutors will become very regular because people are used to using it at school. Teachers are told this works better, results will go up, etc., etc. And then they'll say, oh, it does work. And then that'll be really easy to roll out because if you've already got it at school, they'll provide it for free. And then the entire tutoring market for schooling is dead. But I think it will only happen with government funding, government incentive, and backing. There you go. My thoughts on, is AI going to take over tutoring? And is it going to take over other info spaces? I think it depends. In summary, how old is your demographic? What are they currently using it for? And essentially, where's the inertia for that group of people? Hope that helps. Hope found it interesting. Have a great day. Peace.